Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Kate Heartsong. She is an author, a speaker, entrepreneur, coach, and Reiki master. And she believes in making positive difference so that you can make a positive difference for yourself as well as humanity. Welcome to the show, Kate.
Good morning. It's so wonderful to be here, AJ. I'm very delighted to be sharing what we will be sharing on our topic today. And I love that you're focusing on what can businesses do to help profit, but outside of the realm of the typical, what's been happening for so many years. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. You are welcome to the show, Kate. You are welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure, as you said, a lot of people, not just in India, but across the globe, can benefit, especially businesses, through this topic, profiting with conscious business practices. How doing good business can also be good profit. But before that, Kate, I want to understand, I've talked about you being an author, speaker, entrepreneur, coach, but I want you to address the audience and tell who exactly is Kate Heartsong. You talk about so many good things about humanity, about interconnectedness, about conscious business practices. So I don't want anything to get lost in translation. You please tell about yourself.
Oh, thank you, AJ. Well, just briefly, I am very passionate about sharing this information, not only about business practices, but more broadly, in what way can we individually and collectively and through business, how is it that we can make positive change? And the reason I'm so passionate about this, I'm living proof that it's possible to make positive change. I fell out of a window when I was 2 years old, and as a result, I lost most of my hearing. And back then, they didn't have the hearing aids for my type of loss. So through grade school, middle school, and high school, I didn't hear very much. I wonder how I even managed to get my high school diploma. And people thought I was stuck up. I had a lot of shame and pretty much no self-esteem. But fortunately, in my early 20s, I realized I needed to make a change. I'm witnessing other people around me being happy. They seem to have exuberance with life. And so fortunately, I was able to overcome so much by psychotherapy and personal work, a lot of self-help books, retreats. And so I've become the confident person that I am today. I'm no better. I am no less than anyone else. I recognize that everyone is the same. We're all here doing what we can. We're all here. We all want the same thing. So my passion for being here today, and when I do my public speaking, when I support my clients, when I'm out at the grocery store, my passion is just to encourage people to know their greatness, to encourage them to know it is possible to make positive change. And that's why I'm here. This is also beautiful how it can radiate out from businesses. How is it that a business can become conscious and still make profit? Now, I admit I'm no expert on it, but I will share briefly that as we do our inner work as a person, but also our inner work as a business, and to consider everyone, all of our employees, the customers, fellow staff management, if we can consider all of them, I call it considering all components, then we can dive deeper into making positive change.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for that, Kate. Now, you said, we all want the same thing. But I guess when we talk of we all want the same thing, it can, border down on money. Many a times it is not much beyond money, though we keep on saying. Be that as it may, if everyone wants to say, think of the betterment of people, betterment of humanity, betterment of society, why is it that individuals and businesses, we seem to have gone, off the path? And somehow, a lot of businesses, that is why we are talking about climate change. That is why we are talking about responsible business. We are having so many products which are not good for society, but those companies continue to make so much of profit and huge amount of profit. So all these things lead to that there needs to be, much more conscious understanding about uh, not just taking from society and from the nature and from Mother Earth or the environment, but to also give back from where we are taking. So help us understand then, why is it that there is so much of discord still? As humans, we all want the same thing. Help us understand. I know it's a difficult question, but I just want your thoughts, your understanding of it, because you look at it from a pure heart, and perhaps that will see things, perhaps that will be much more that will resonate much more with people that it should.
Thank you. That is a very good question. I certainly don't have all the answers, but from my knowing, my belief, there is so much that is happening on the planet right now. Actually, we're going through an evolutionary leap, just like the industrial age, or way, way back, the agricultural leap. And we've gone through now recently what some may call the digital age. What's really happening on the planet, and what many will say, including myself, the cause for the discord is that we are going through a massive shift, both with challenges, and there's a lot of energy changes. There's a lot of influx of different influences, such as light. And Mother Earth is going through a lot of changes as well. And this is normal. It's normal for humanity and Mother Earth to go through periodic evolutionary shifts. And we know this from, eons ago with, the original man coming from the amphibians. But now let's go many, many hundreds of thousands of years into the present moment. The present moment is going through this by design, I believe. This includes businesses as well as individuals. And it helps us to understand that although it's difficult to go through this discord, you said so well, AJ, the shift, it is all by design. It's difficult and it's painful to witness the suffering of so many people across the globe. If we can understand, though, that there is a shift going from mind into heart, going into recognizing that actually there's, science has proved, there is an interconnection of all life. Everything is energy on the most basic elemental level, and quantum physics has shown this. And I know I won't go down that angle because of our time here, but quantum physics has proved there is an interconnection, and more people are becoming aware of that. Because of this, we can recognize, if we can come from heart, use our brain, our mind, our intellect from a place of heart, we can then have a broader perspective of what really is going on. What is it we can do as an individual or a community or a business to then recognize the interconnection? So, for example, let's look at a conscious business and see that if they can recognize all the components, maybe they're creating a new product, or maybe there's a new process or system that is being created. A business that is conscious will recognize that all components need to be considered. For example, may I share an example here?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Let's say a city wants to see about approving or not approving the developer's proposal for a 400 unit project for apartments very close to a beautiful animal sanctuary. It would be great if the developers were conscious to recognize, well, this isn't only about making money. How is it that we can create both the 400 units in a way that also offers a respect and a reverence for life, for the beautiful plants and the animals and the refuge that's adjacent to it? And to have the openness and understanding to explore all the avenues, the environment, the impact on the traffic on a busy street. And of course, to supporting the city with more housing, which it desperately needs. A very valid point is that the housing for 400 units will support the people in the city to not maybe having to pay skyrocketing rents. So there's always a domino effect, and of course, considering all components. And what I've just described is actually what's happening where I live here in the Lakewood, close to Denver in Colorado. They're proposing a 400 unit apartment in a tiny, tiny space. And my initial thought was, well, how can they do that? It's going to disrupt so much. And interestingly, I spoke with my neighbor who does detailed data gathering and stats for apartments. And he enlightened me on the other side to recognize there can be validity to building that many units. So the question is, how do we become conscious to doing it in a way that can least negatively impact any and all components?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you see, the Great Resignation has said that employees want much more work-life balance. They want much more connection with what their heart says, and doing proper business will certainly get this sort of thinking much more accommodation into the workplace. It will raise the level of productivity, raise the consciousness not only of their own, of the society, but also about themselves. And at the end of the day, everyone will feel happy about doing what they are doing.
Absolutely, because there is a ripple effect. And all of us know, we understand, and we've experienced when we walk into an office and there's been a discord or perhaps an upset of some kind, verbally or not, between two people, excuse me, we can feel it. Energetically, we can pick up on it. On the other side of the coin, when we walk into an office and there's excellent camaraderie, a wonderful collaboration between each employee, between the management, we can feel an increase in that productivity, right? And excuse me, I'm sorry. When we can feel that increase in productivity, that's a demonstration of how each individual, their energy interpenetrates with ours. We all know emotionally as well as physically and mentally, we work better when we are in alignment with, and also when we have the same desire for the outcome for the office, for that particular department, for ultimately the outcome of the business. And what is the business goal? So really, when we can look at and support and understand and respect each person and where are they coming from, and recognize their piece to the whole department in that company is as relevant and important than anyone else. This is where consciously and also on an invisible basis, we can feel more of that camaraderie and that go with the flow, and things go. And creation occurs so much more easy when we are more from that place of conscious respect, honoring where each person is. Everyone has something very vital to offer to the whole project. I hope that makes sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's understand better from in the context of your book, Humanity's Cry for Change. You have written another book also, Deeply We Are One, where we have you talked already about how we are so interconnected, and even science proves that. So, in terms of humanity's for change, how have you dealt with this topic in terms of individual as well as from a business perspective?
Yes, my book, Humanity's Cry for Change, in essence, emphasizes the importance that we do our own individual work, which means to overcome any trauma or upsets in life, to deal with the upset that we might have with a coworker or our boss or something from our childhood, to do our inner work, to get the professional help we might need. But yet also, when we do our inner work, we're better able to show up more authentically. We're more in alignment with our values and beliefs. We're more in alignment with our gifts and skills that we can offer in the office as an employee or as an individual entrepreneur. When we're more in that alignment and we're feeling better, we've done our work, and we always have more work to do, but if we can heal whatever is within us, this allows us then to better show up and to be able to give our gifts to our employer, where we can better show up serving others, whether it's inside or outside of the office. As a business, again, analogous to an individual's work, as a business can show up, how much are they in alignment with their values and their beliefs? How much are they offering their consumers and their employees the respect and kindness? If they can elevate into that across the board as much as possible, shifting into more respect, honoring a person's view, understanding they are an important component of the whole system of that company, of that whole system within that company's department, things actually naturally flow better. And now imagine an office, let's say 7 employees in a department of marketing. And imagine each one of them doing their own personal work. And they're feeling respected. They're feeling acknowledged for the work they do by their employer. They tend to feel more in their power, respected. They are naturally going to offer more productivity, more of an incentive to really give back. There's always this beautiful exchange of give and receive when the manager can give that acknowledgement, honor their perspective. The employee will give back. Oh, I am important. I am being heard. Everyone wants to be heard, and that's a key component as well. So again, it just naturally can increase productivity. A long answer, but the book talks a little bit about all that.
Absolutely. And do you end that all in a very positive note, or you see that it will be difficult time going forward?
I am encouraged to hear, and I haven't done my own personal research. I have not gone out and done my personal data collection, but I have been hearing, and I've Googled a little bit to see there are more businesses recognizing the benefit to them and their customers to have more conscious business practices. I am encouraged that more and more businesses will take this on, recognizing the importance of elevating the employee and the beautiful interconnection between the company and their values and the employee. I believe that And I have to confess, I am very much of an optimist. I really believe because we are going through an amazing shift, that evolutionary shift I mentioned, AJ, because we are going through that evolutionary shift, I believe it's going to affect and is and already has affect all areas, whether it's Mother Earth or climate or individuals or businesses, and it's happening in a positive way. So I'm hopeful for that.
I fully agree with that, with you, and I too am optimistic because it's a fact that Mother Nature is much more, and Mother Earth is much more powerful than we think. if
Yes.
we if we tinker with it much more, then we may not be there. Mother Earth will be there, Mother Nature will be there, and perhaps a different species will become much more intelligent, and perhaps intelligently handle this planet. Maybe we will be gone. That's the way I think. So we
Yes.
got to be better, careful about this understanding. Be
Yes.
that as it may, Kate, a lot of people who would want to understand more about these things, learn more from you, engage with you professionally, learn more about your book, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
Oh, thank you. My website, Joyful Radiance. Oh, I see it's on here,
Yeah,
joyfulradiance.com. And you are welcome to send me comments. I love hearing from my audience. Also, if you want 2 free heartwarming meditations, sign up for my monthly e-newsletter. It's very uplifting. It's very positive. It's it shares some insights that can support you on your journey. And there's information on my book on my website as well.
absolutely. On this positive note, it's
Yeah.
a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.